good morning. The general force system or non-concurrent forces. In the previous classes, we are discussing what is concurrent forces, what is parallel force system, and now we come to the last category of it, coplanar forces, non-concurrent force system. The forces can be oriented in any directions. How to find out the resultant of non-concurrent forces or the general coplanar force system. So, finding out the resultant, the steps are as earlier. Of the general given forces, you find out sigma fx, sum of the, resolve all the forces. The different forces will be oriented in different directions. So, find out the sum of the horizontal forces. Second step, find the sum of the algebraic sum of the vertical components of the forces. Then the resultant R is nothing but square root of fx square plus fy square. The same rule is adapted for any force system. Resolve the forces in x direction, find out the forces in y components of the forces, root of fx square plus fy square, and the direction of the resultant is given by tan theta is equal to sigma fy divided by sigma fx. That is the direction of the resultant with the x direction is given by tan theta equals sigma fy by sigma fx. So let us illustrate this with the help of a numerical example. Now one more thing, in addition to the direction magnitude, we have to locate the position also. As we have discussed earlier, locate the position of the resultant. For that, we will be using Varignon's theorem. So, general force system, resultant, magnitude, direction and position of or the location of the resultant, you use Varignon's theorem. Moment of the resultant about any point is equal to sum of the moments of the component forces about the same point. We will see a numerical example to make it more clear. So coming to the numerical example, 4 coplanar forces, 2 kilonewton, 3 kilonewton, 5 kilonewton and 7 kilonewton are acting on a square body of side 1 meter. Determine the resultant force, magnitude, direction and position with respect to point A. So this is the given question. First one, a square body forces 2 kilonewton at 30 degrees, 3 kilonewton, 5 kilonewton and 7 kilonewton are acting on the body as shown in the figure. Are asked to find out the magnitude, direction and position of the resultant with respect to this point A. So there are two inclined forces, 2 and 5. First step, let us resolve it into horizontal and vertical direction. This 2 force acting at A at 30 degrees, it is away from A. So its components are also away from A. So this is 2 cos 30, angle 30 degrees with horizontal. So this is cos 30, other one is sin 30. Another force 5 is acting towards C. So towards the joint or inward. So we have to resolve it towards C. 5 cos 60 and 5 sin 60. This is already known to all of you. So the given question has been replaced with the forces resolved into horizontal and vertical directions. Now the things becomes easy. The first step, to find the resultant, to find the magnitude of the resultant, find out sigma fx, resolve, add the forces, algebraic sum of forces in the x direction. So 7 kilonewton positive towards right, this 2 cos 30 positive towards right, 5 cos 60 left, so it is minus. So sigma fx work out to 6.23 kilonewton. It is positive towards right. sigma Fy vertical component 2 sin 30 upward, then 5 sin 60 upward. So this is horizontal only. So only there are two forces, 2 sin 30, 5 sin 60. Okay, now B. At B there is 3. Okay, at B there is a force of 3. So we have to add 2 sin 30 plus 5 sin 60 minus 3. 3 is acting downward. These two forces are upward, one force is downward. So the total sum works to 2.33 kilonewton upwards. So I can mark here Fx towards right 6.23, Fx, sigma Fx, and Fy is 2.33 upwards. So Fy 2.33 upwards. Sigma Fx is 6.23. So you complete this rectangle. This will be the resultant. Say this is theta. So R is equal to root of sigma Fx square plus sigma Fy square will work out to root of 6.23 square plus 2.33 square, 6.65 kilonewton. And the direction tan theta is equal to sigma Fy by sigma Fx. This is theta. Tan theta is equal to vertical side Fy divided by Fx. So it is 2.33 divided by 6.23. So find the inverse of it. We'll get theta as 20.5 degree with x positive direction. So we have found out the first step. The magnitude of the resultant as 6.65 kilonewton. We got this 6.65, and this angle theta as 20.5 degree. This is in both Fx positive, Fy positive. So it is in the first quadrant. So the resultant falls in first quadrant, and it makes an angle of 20.5 degrees with the x positive direction. So this much steps, it's very easy. Now coming to the location of the resultant. So I asked to find out the location of the resultant with respect to A. So let us assume the perpendicular distance to the resultant. The resultant, say, let me assume the resultant is, we have got something like this. We don't know where it falls. We have seen now the resultant is in the first quadrant, and it is acting like this at 20.5 degrees. This is the direction in which the resultant is going. So the resultant can be, say, if we can't assume it, the resultant can be something like this, making an angle of 20.5 degrees with x-axis. It can be here. This is point A. This can be either on the lower side of A, or it can also be like this, somewhere here. We don't know where is the correct location. So the resultant is, let us assume at a perpendicular distance. The distance of the resultant, either if it is above A, this is the perpendicular distance. Drop a perpendicular. If it is below A, drop a perpendicular. This is the distance. So we have to locate. Anyway, we have got this idea. The resultant is, numerically, we got the value 6.65. It is inclined at 20.5 degrees and it falls in the first quadrant. So the resultant, say if we take this x, y directions, the resultant is in this direction. So either it can be here anywhere with respect to A, either above A or below A, and we don't know, we have to find out this perpendicular distance to the line of action of the resultant from the point A. So let us assume, let x be the perpendicular distance of the line of action of R from A. Let us assume the line of action of the resultant is located at a distance, at a perpendicular distance x, so that R into x, moment of the resultant about point A should be equal to sum of moments of its components, or sum of moments of all the forces, sum of moments of all the forces about A. So we have to find out where this R, the line of action of R, falls. So for that, first of all, let us find out sigma MA, moment of all the forces about A. MA is equal to, considering this point, at this particular point A, the forces acting 2 cos 30 and 2 sin 30 are acting there, so it doesn't have any moment about A. Considering that 3 kilonewton, the 3 kilonewton, 3 into perpendicular distance, which is 1 meter. So 3 into 1, the direction is with reference to, with 3, rotate it clockwise, 3 into 1 clockwise moment. Then this 5 sin 60 upward, 5 sin 60, it rotates in the anti-clockwise direction and the distance is 1 meter. So minus 5 sin 60 into 1, this 5 cos 60, this is 5 cos 60, moment about A, moment about this point, this is the line of action of this force, so it can come up to this 5 cos 60 into 1 clockwise, 5 cos 60 into 1, this produces clockwise. This 7 into this perpendicular distance, it rotates anti-clockwise, minus 7 into 1. So I'll repeat once again. Moment of the forces about A, this doesn't have any moment, both components pass through A. For this 3 into 1 clockwise moment. For this 5 sin 60 into 1 anti-clockwise moment. For this 5 cos 60 into 1, line of action of the force into perpendicular distance 1 meter, 5 cos 60 into 1 is clockwise. This 7, this is the line of action of the force, this is the perpendicular distance, 7 into 1 anti-clockwise. So these are the sum of the moments. We can find out the algebraic sum. It gives minus 5.83 kilonewton meter. That means anti-clockwise moment. So the force system is producing an anti-clockwise moment about A. Hence, the resultant should also produce an anti-clockwise moment about A. That is a must. Resultant should produce anti-clockwise moment about A. So let us see now. Let us check. Say this is the square. This is point A. I told you the resultant can be in this direction. This is the direction of resultant, inclined at 20.5 degrees. So this is the line of action of the resultant. If it is below A, with respect to A, this is the R into A, it will produce anti-clockwise moment. So if the resultant is below the point A and if it is oriented like this, that will produce an anti-clockwise moment. See, if it is above A, the resultant is above A, this will produce clockwise moment. If the resultant is above A, that will produce only clockwise moment about A. So, looking into the value as well as the nature of the moment of the individual forces, we can get an idea whether the line of action of the resultant is below A or above A. In this case, we get it is below A because R should also produce an anti-clockwise moment about A. So let us find out what is R into X is equal to 5.83. Therefore, X is equal to 5.83 divided by R. R is 6.65. We'll get it as 0.88 meter. So, in the figure, I can mark it from A, 0.88 meter. The perpendicular distance is 0.88 meter. And the direction of R, it not be through A. 0.88 is 1 meter square. So the diagonal will be nearly root 2. Root 2 is 1.44. So out of, so this is the given figure. From here, a perpendicular distance of 0.88 meter. Twenty 20.5 degree. This is the resultant 6.55 kilonewton. This is 90. So this gives you the location of the resultant. The resultant is 6.55 kilonewton, making it of 20.5 degrees with horizontal, and it is at a perpendicular distance of 0.88 meter below A. This perpendicular distance is 0.88 meter. If you want to make it more clear, suppose I extend this and let it be E. So this angle is also theta. If this is theta, this is theta. I can find out this distance AE. How much horizontally it is placed from A. Sin theta, this is theta, this is also theta. Sin theta is equal to X divided by A is the hypotenuse, or A is equal to X by sin theta, or I can write it as 0.88 divided by sin 20.5, it works out to 2.51 meter from 2.51 meter. So if I want, I can also write down this. The point of resultant is 2.51 meter horizontally from A. Even up to this gauge is okay, we'll get full credit. If you want to more clear, we can write down that the point of application of the resultant is 2.51 meter along AB, 2.51 meter from A, 2.51 meter, or we can write the line of action of the resultant is at a perpendicular distance of 0.88 meter from A, and it is below A. And you just show it in the figure. With reference to the figure, everything will be clear. So that is the first numerical example on general coplanar forces. We'll have one more numerical example in the next video.